The architecture reflected this. Unlike a remand prison, where movement, short sentences, and regular turnover define the rhythm of daily life, Shots was built with permanence in mind. Heavy walls, reinforced infrastructure, a facility designed to hold men who were not going anywhere. When it opened, Scotland's crime landscape was already violent. Glasgow, in particular, had earned a grim international reputation. The city had some of the highest rates of violent crime in Western Europe during this period. Knife crime, gang warfare, murder rates that put cities far larger than Glasgow to shame. The courts were full. The prisons were filling. And HMP Shots became one of the key pressure valves in a system that was already beginning to buckle. Through the 1980s and into the 1990s, the prison absorbed wave after wave of Scotland's most serious offenders. Men convicted of murder during the height of the Glasgow gang wars. Armed robbers. Men whose trials filled the front pages of the Scottish newspapers for weeks. And with each passing decade, the prison's reputation grew. It became known, inside the Scottish criminal world and inside the prison service itself, as a place where you did not go unless you had done something serious. A place where the sentences were long, the regime was strict, and the community inside those walls had its own brutal hierarchy. By the time the 21st century arrived, HMP Shots held somewhere in the region of 500 to 600 men at any given time, the majority of them serving sentences of 4 years or more. A significant proportion serving life sentences, which in Scotland means a minimum period set by the court before the prisoner can even apply for parole. For the most serious offenders, that minimum tariff could be 15, 20, sometimes 25 years or more. Many of the men inside Shots today were teenagers when they came in. They are now middle-aged men. And the gates have not opened for them yet. The inside, life behind the walls. Picture this. You wake up at 6:45 in the morning. Not because you want to. Not because you set an alarm. But because a steel door, 3 inches thick, with a reinforced locking mechanism that was designed specifically so that no man can break through it from the inside, swings open with a sound that, after years, you stop hearing consciously but never stop feeling. The cell is small. Approximately 8 feet by 10 feet. Enough space for a single bed bolted to the wall. A small desk. A toilet and sink in the corner. No screen, no partition. Because privacy in a place like this is not a right, it is a privilege, and privileges must be earned. The window, if you can call it that, is narrow. A thin vertical slit in the concrete that lets in a blade of grey Scottish light for a few hours a day. In winter, that light barely arrives before it is already leaving again. This is your world. Not for a week. Not for a year. For some of the men inside HMP Shots, this has been their world for over 2 decades. Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Prisons for Scotland, the independent body responsible for inspecting and reporting on conditions inside Scottish prisons, has visited HMP Shots on multiple occasions and produced detailed public reports. These are not opinion pieces. These are official documented assessments. And what they have recorded about life inside Shots paints a picture that is deeply uncomfortable to read. In their 2019 inspection report of HMP Shots, inspectors noted that while some aspects of the prison's physical environment had improved following a significant refurbishment program, serious concerns remained. Inspectors found that a substantial proportion of prisoners were spending too many hours locked in their cells, in some cases, up to 18 to 20 hours per day. Not as a punishment. Not because of specific infractions, but simply because the ratio